It was a conspiracy. Okay, I'm not making this up. There's a poll. 1/3 of Americans say it's at least somewhat likely the U.S. government played a role in the attacks. And then there is a new Oliver Stone movie about 9/11 being released tomorrow. Let's take a look at the clip, and then we're going to get back to that conspiracy theory.
Thanks. Okay, there's more stuff down on B1, the truck docks. We'll drop down to concourse, go around 1 to 2, and there's some stairs there. Keep your eyes open, follow me, don't get separated, okay?
All sides, we got plenty here.
110 floors, fire with fuel. We're gonna be using up bottles, we need them.
Sarge, you won't believe this. Your Suburban on Church, it's gone. Roof smashed in.
Stay together and stay focused.
Okay, usually Oliver Stone is pitching some kind of conspiracy, but World Trade Center's new movie is set to play it pretty straight. But what about these conspiracy theories floating around? One of the people feeding these suspicions is James Fetzer, professor at the University of Minnesota and co-founder of Scholars for 9/11. Welcome, Professor. So basically, you are a professor at a top university. You believe basically the government, our government, was behind planes flying into the World Trade Center, killing 2,600 people. Please help me with that one, because that just sounds completely absurd to me, sir.
Well, Donnie, we're not happy about it. I founded an organization, Scholars for 9/11 Truth, in mid-December. We now have over 300 members, over 200 with research abilities, over 85 who have academic affiliations or the equivalent. We've been investigating the government's story. If you think of a theory as drafted on a piece of paper floating in space, then little threads come down from that piece of paper.
Give me three very concrete
links.
Sir, give me quickly 3 concrete reasons why you think this was an inside job.
Well, we've discovered that the Twin Towers were brought down by a special kind of controlled demolition. They're exploding from the top, Donnie. It's as though you had 2 gigantic trees that were turning to sawdust from the top, number 1. Number 2, Norman Mineta, in an underground bunker beneath the White House, observed Dick Cheney giving a stand-down order to make sure that the plane approaching the Pentagon was not shot down. And number 3, our own FBI has affirmed that it has no hard evidence connecting Osama bin Laden to the events of 9/11.
Professor, so you're telling me once again, you want me to believe, and you're an educated man, that our government put CIA agents in planes to fly them into the World Trade Center to kill American citizens just so we could fight a war in the Middle East, sir? If they want a simpler conspiracy theory, all they had to do was get some guy over there in Fallujah and plant a little thing of plutonium. I mean, come on, Professor.
Donnie, you're not looking at the evidence. In fact, none of the hijackers' names were on any of those manifests. We're talking about 4 different airliners and 2 different airlines. Their names are on none of the manifests. None of their bodies were subject to any autopsy. Those cell phone calls appear to have been impossible from those altitudes and speeds. We have established that the way in which the towers came down is inconsistent with the government's account. They were constructed to withstand the impact of airliners, number 1. The fires never reached sufficiently hot temperatures or burned long enough to weaken the steel.
Professor, how come we have a tape of Osama bin Laden taking credit for this, planning this? What was that? Is he somebody that the government created?
Donnie, you have to look more carefully at the tape record. The first tape, which was authentic, Osama denied having anything to do with it. He affirmed that the tenets of Islam are incompatible with killing innocent women and children, and denied having anything to do with 9/11. The tape you're referring to appears to be a fake. We have been studying this, and we have put out press releases about it, which you can find on our website, st911.org.
Professor, don't you think at this time, you know, it's interesting, I put you together with the air marshal piece, we're better making our country stronger and fighting this? I mean, that is such an absurd theory. Explain, just give me the logic, because maybe I'm naive, on why the president, the vice president, Condoleezza Rice, who I've got to believe are human beings, they're not, I don't agree with that, frankly, I've come down very strong in the Bush administration, but you're saying these people are evil killers themselves?
Well, they laid out their blueprint for American foreign policy in something called Project for the New American Century, especially a document called Rebuilding America's Defenses, talking about using America's status as the sole remaining superpower to create a string of bases around the world and to move aggressively into the Middle East, not only to control its natural resources, in particular oil, but also to exert political and military influence outward from that.
And the reason, okay, so once again, I understand that. And so that then leads to the fact that they're going to put CIA agents in American Airlines planes and fly them into one of our great office buildings in this country?
Well, in all probability, Donnie, those planes were under remote control. But the fact of the matter is that their own documents reflected that the American people were very unlikely to support the kind of fantastic expense and the death involved.
Professor, I've got to cut you off. We're out of time here. Now, for those of you at home, you may say, okay, you're listening to this, remote control planes, this ridiculous stuff. Why are you even giving that airtime? I'm giving it airtime because I think it's endemic. The scary thing, 1 out of 3 Americans, 1 out of 3, believe that it's more than likely the government was involved in this. I think what that shows more than anything, that we have a country more so than ever that has lost complete faith in their government. They're willing to believe anything. That's the scary part. It's not about remote control planes. It's about right now this government has lost this country, and that's scary. More Big Idea when we come.